Hello, I'm Jonathan Beal with Sertodo Copper, and welcome to my kitchen here with my cookware, Sertodo's cookware, my personal cookware that I use all the time, and the cookware that we make for everybody else to use. And this here today is our 2.5 quart saucepan. It's a great pan. I love cooking with this thing, making the sauces, making soups. It's a real nice pan. And this pan, as with all of our cookware, is available in the polished and the peacock patina, the no polish finish. I'll pull down my personal saucepan. There we go. Yes, come on down. Come to daddy. I've been using this one for about a year. You can see how the color is turning on this. It's really nice. You get a lot of purple tone, sepia, and there's no polishing involved in here. No polishing on this pan needed. Occasionally I might just rough it up a little bit with the abrasive side of the sponge. I only do that on the patinas, and it brings out all the nice work on there, the hammering. A lot of warm metal, sepia, purple, copper. It's a great pan. With each of these have the same features, 2.5 quart, 2.5 quart. We have our patented handle system that makes these just a pleasure to use. This handle is designed so that all the heat passes through the handle and not out the handle. It's stainless steel rods that are non-conductive, they're relatively, and you can be cooking with this thing for 30 minutes, still come up to it. You don't want to grab it right up here, but it'll be warm. But you can still grab this thing and not burn yourself. And it has a real nice, kind of eye here. Rest your palm on. You've got the 3-dimensional handle. It's very ergonomic. You can reach up on that and grab it. Stainless steel plate that's riveted with countersunk rivets in here. Nothing to get in the way of you stirring your pot. Traditional hot tin lining in here, and the hot tin is a completely non-reactive, non-toxic element that really accentuates the properties of your copper cookware for why you bought your copper cookware, which is heat conductivity. And this tin is just as conductive as the copper. And we have a real heavy gauge material, 2mm copper here. You can see on those edges there. And that thickness of the copper is what really draws that energy throughout the material, draws that heat and pulls it all out on there. So your sauce is going to be a lot of sauces are pretty particular about where is that temperature. Are you at a slight simmer? Do you need to boil it for a second? You know, rolling boil, drop it to a simmer. And what you get with the copper is you get that temperature control. You turn your heat up, heat is going to transfer through the pan very quickly. You turn your heat down, that heat is going to dissipate through the pan very quickly. That's why copper is prized as cookware throughout the world. And on this also, what you have a pour edge. We roll that edge over just slightly so that when you go to pour anything out, you're not going to get a bunch of drip going down there. And it's a no drip edge on there. And what that rolled edge also does is it makes for a real positive closure in here. And what we do with our lid, you can see on our lid here, we have this edge that matches with the curve on the edge of the pot. And it, not only does it match there, but then it drops down below so that you get all of that drip going back into your pan. So your moisture is coming in. If you want your moisture to evaporate, you leave your lid off. Set it right here. It's a very wonderful place to set your lid, is in our patented handle, made for accepting that. And you get more of the evaporation. If you want to keep that heat in and you want to be working with a slower, lower temperature, set that on there, you get that positive, and just with a little bit of heat, this copper sucks all that heat up. With a little bit of heat, you can just keep that at a rolling simmer for as long as you need to get all those ingredients all blended in there and that flavor out and everything tasting delicious. Going with our handles in that wonderful way you saw me set the lid on there. You got to be stirring things occasionally. But you don't necessarily need to be stirring all the time. What are you going to do with this? Well, you can either set it in one of our wonderful little putting cups, turned into a little spoon rest here in the kitchen, or set it on this amazing handle system that we have here. I get so excited every time I do this just because it is such a brilliant use of the handle. Like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? I did think of that. I did think of that. This is a patent here. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it is an amazing system. The patenting on here is great. And I want to say, this was an accident. This was an accident right here. I just designed these so that all the heat would pass through and you could grab these things and not worry about burning yourself. And my first customer that bought these came back to me and she says, God, that was so brilliant of you to design somewhere to put the ladle. And I was like, Eliza, what are you talking about? She says, look. And I was just, boom. I was like, wow. And every time I look at this, I'm just like, God, amazing. In spite of myself sometimes, things work out in a wonderful way. And these handles are a perfect example of that. Just love that. Copper cookware usually has these traditional handles that were designed in like the 1800s that are like heavy brass, heavy wrought iron, and it makes for a heavy pan. And copper, this is thick, so it is a relatively heavy pan, but to drop on that weight and increase your maneuverability, we redesigned the handle. And this 3-rod handle here, this Trinity, just is a wonderful, wonderful little system. We've got it here. Real gorgeous curves that you see on there. Real nice curves on that. Everything about this handle is made to be just like grabbed and loved. Then you've got here, you've got the little eye, little shepherd's hook. So if you want to hang it up there socially distanced, hang it up like this. You want to be a hog, take up a bunch of space, hang it up on your hook like this. Do whatever you want with this pan. You hang it, you love it, you use it, you cook with it, feed people, party, enjoy. That's what our work is about. People enjoying this stuff. We make these things, we put a lot of work into making real high quality products. We really enjoy our work, and we love when people enjoy using our work. We make this stuff to make your kitchen a more pleasurable place to be. Feeding people is one of the finest things we can do in life, and these are a pleasure to cook with. This is our patinaed version, 2.5 quart saucepan. Same handle system. You can see in here the tin has begun to season because I've been using this one for about 1.5 years. It works so well. It's such a pleasure to cook with. And brand spanking new, highly polished, tin lined, 2.5 quart Sertodo copper saucepan.